big one-night stand like this because I don't know if it still counts as a one-night stand if you spend 2 nights with him and he takes you to meet his mom. But that's not even how I fucked it up. It's so much worse. Because somehow, I didn't see it coming when this boy I met in Nashville with a full mustache, cowboy boots, and a hat that said, "Women are drugs," when he, for real, said, "I think Jews are ruining the world." I swear he said it after we had sex, and I swear after he said it, I only had sex with him one more time. But for real, I seriously had my first one-night stand and I accidentally had sex with a Trump-supporting white supremacist. Maybe he prefers anti-fascist, I don't know. I grew up in Ann Arbor, and so I thought people who believed that kind of stuff, I thought it was a myth. Because I've literally never met anyone who didn't smell like patchouli oil and Bernie Sanders. Please don't let what I'm telling all of you guys get out of here. Can you imagine the headlines? Ann Arbor girl has sex with white supremacists. And I bet he doesn't want his community finding out either. Proud boy. Not so proud after having sex with girl with hairy armpits. I also think maybe he gave me something, you know, like, because ever since him and I had sex, my pubes have been falling out. And now they just grow in like a little tiny Hitler mustache right here. And I'm so upset because I was so proud of my bush. I mean my pubes. I feel like I have to clarify because this guy called George Bush my bush. And I'll just tell you one last thing that this guy said to me. He told me that he thinks the January 6th insurrection was all liberal actors, which I thought was so funny because when he was storming my Capitol, it was so obvious he had no idea what a liberal faking something looked like. Thank you.
I want to talk about the top baby names for 2022. No one's talking about this. Number 1 for boys, Liam. Not bad. Liam. You got Liam Neeson. No other examples. We'll take it. Number 1 for girls, Olivia. Very cute. Olivia. Here's what's interesting. 3 years in a row, Liam and Olivia are the top baby names. They are the SEC football of baby names every single year. There are now so many Liams and Olivias that 50 years from now, we could be voting for President Liam. Maybe not Olivia, we're not progressing that far quite yet. What's even more interesting is the largest drop in baby names over a 4-year period, down 97%. Girls named Karen. Well, what the hell happened to the Karens? I don't know if you have YouTube or TikTok or if you've ever been in line at the airport, but Karen is now a bad thing. The last time a baby's name dropped that much over the same period, 1941, babies named Adolf. Now, I'm not saying all the Karens I know are bad, but all the Adolfs I know, if you know anything about history, it's not good. Many of you have actually met my dad. You have met my father. If you've ever had a 75-year-old Uber driver here in West Michigan, that's my dad. There's not a lot of 75-year-old Uber drivers. They talk a lot, they're not good at driving, and they suck at technology. My dad once told me, I gotta get up early tomorrow, I've gotta go to the App Store. Oh, Dad, now I've got to explain that joke to the Android people. Dad, thanks for that. Let's narrow it down further. First of all, my dad was very overdressed. He had khaki pants, he had a blue blazer with the crest of a country club he's never belonged to right here. He was ready. He was ready to pick up Frank Sinatra. If Frank Sinatra was in Grand Rapids and still alive. He was ready. He does the 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. shift for Uber. And I said, Dan, what kind of people do you get? Like people going to the airport? What do you got? He's like, well, are you familiar with the walk of shame? And I'm very familiar with the walk of shame. It used to start at my old apartment. That's where it starts. But I wanted to hear his definition. So, Dad, yeah, what is the walk of shame? He said, well, sometimes I will take a young lady back from her one-night stand to her place. Sometimes we drive around the parking lot where she thought she left her car with her key fob. And sometimes we go to a Walgreens where I think she buys a Plan B. Dad, that is way different than my definition. Mine is like logistics and sorrow. Yours is this crazy Lord of the Rings type of quest. Not quite my thing. I remember his first Uber ride. First of all, he called it Uber for the first 3 weeks. He calls me up, he's like, Jimmy, I got my first Uber ride. I'm like, great, Dad, how did it go? He said, I was downtown buying some slacks. That's how half his stories start. I was downtown buying some slacks. And I went up to pick up this guy, and wouldn't you know it, he was a gay. Dad, why are you telling me he's gay? That's got nothing to do with the story. I'm just saying he's a nice guy. Our parents ever do that? They say little off-putting things and try to wrap it with a compliment and sweep it under the rug. Your mom and I, we bought this new mattress, and this little Latino guy helped us put it on the car, and we drove home. Dad, why are you telling me he's Latino? I'm just saying he's a nice guy. That's my time. Thank you.
I recently had a psychiatric evaluation. Yeah. Don't worry. It was just for like a routine meds check. I didn't like bite anybody's face off or anything like that. But the night is young. The night is young. And part of the results said that I have a hard time making friends because I'm socially anxious, which is demonstrably bullshit. I have 411 close friends on Instagram and 406 close friends on Facebook, and they're a joy. I enjoy having them in my life. I like talking to them online only. We will never speak in public. If I see them out and about, if I see you, if we're friends on social media, and chances are we are, and I see you out and about, we will not speak. We're not gonna talk. I'm not even gonna nod. I'm gonna ignore the shit out of you. And then I'm gonna get in my car, sit down and text you the world's most heartfelt text about why we did not speak. And it's going to be one of two things. It's going to either be the very enigmatic and all-purpose, I had to go, or my personal favorite that I use whenever I can, you were talking to somebody and I didn't want to interrupt you. That one's golden because it makes me sound super polite and it makes it your fault. Yes, that's the one you want. So yeah, we won't speak. That's just how I am. I like to keep it online. So yeah, socially awkward? Whatever. It's bullshit. Oh, what did I write in here? Oh yeah, the psych eval, that's short for psychiatric evaluation. It also said that basically I'm starved for attention because of my maladaptive friendship-making abilities. And at first I was like, no, there's no way. I was up in arms about it. I took it very personally. And then a couple weeks after that, I ran into somebody that I know at the grocery store. They cornered me into saying hello and talking. It was my nightmare. But then they go, oh my God, Amanda, I was just thinking about you. And I came in my pants. Right there. It was just so nice to be thought of, you know? So, maybe those things do know a thing or two, I don't know. Who am I to say? So, I'm married, but when I wasn't, guys did not tend to approach me very often. And I used to tell myself, it's my height, they're intimidated, or maybe my strong jaw. But then I kind of came to realize later, like, I'm not that attractive. Although there is a very, very specific with a group of Mexican farm workers who think I'm a goddess. They enjoy a wide hip. Yeah, they like it. Okay, so I recently was on Amazon. I know I'm part of the problem, but like, where else are you gonna get like nipple covers, a wrench, and a Vitamix in the same shopping experience? You know? So I was buying my nip covers. I put my size small in there, you know, they're small but mighty. Stuck them in there. Gotta keep them away from the public. I don't need to wear a bra, but I do need to wear nipple covers. You're welcome. It's a public service, trust me. So I went ahead and put my size small in the cart. And with Amazon, if you've bought clothes from them before, they will suggest sizes to you based on other stuff you've bought. So it said, based on other clothes you've bought, we suggest a size large. Basically shaming my nipples for being too small. Cool. I just got body shamed by a company owned by a human tampon applicator. Like, it was a weird feeling. I don't know. Oh gosh. So speaking of my big hips, I know I have big childbearing hips, but I don't have kids, don't plan to have kids. I have dogs. Dogs. And frankly, hot take, it's nice that they die sooner. I know, scandal, I know. I'm gonna head out. Thank you. I've been Amanda. No. I'm just kidding. I was just kidding. I was saying you guys hated me so much that I was gonna leave, but you're very supportive and I appreciate it. I like that they die sooner because think about it, in the lifetime of one like gross kid, human, you can have so many nice relationships, meaningful relationships with so many nice dogs. Okay, I'm not the only one who thinks this way. And if you get a bad one, which you won't, you know, you give it to me. I will buy it off of you. You're not going to get that offer with your hormonal hose beast of a 13-year-old daughter. Not unless you have Andrew Tate's little black book. So happy that's topical again. The joke wasn't making any sense last week. All right. So, like statistically, at least a few of you, I was diagnosed with ADHD by Facebook. It started to worry me after I got the diagnosis. I was like, is that all I have to offer the world? Am I just this pile of ADHD symptoms with like cute hair? But then I got a hold of myself and I said, Amanda, no. ADHD is not your whole personality. Being vegan is. Obviously. One last one. So, I know I look really young, which is so nice of you guys to say. But actually, I am about to go through the big change in a middle-aged woman's life. Time to get that IUD swapped out for a freshie. Yeah, she's done her time. It's earned its retirement, let's just say that. That thing has seen a lot of cum. Let's be honest. Yeah, it's never failed me. It's worked a treat. It's been like a little Gandalf the Grey up in there, just like, you shall not pass to the sperm, you know? And it's worked so well, I'm gonna miss it. So I'm thinking of getting a little memorial tattoo, just right up here on my top arm. A little picture. It looks like a pogo stick. So it'll just be like, it'll say IUD VK, because that's her last name. IUD VK the first, 2013 to 2023. Thank you for your service to my cervix. Thank you guys. Now I'm done. Thanks so much. I'm Amanda.
So my wife had a great life for a while. It was great. She was living her dream, you know, just fucking all the time, probably. She still is. No one cares if you're having sex with your wife. Like, they love to hear you're having sex with random people, but when you're having sex with your wife, they're like, ugh, that's so boring. It's so annoying. But anyway, my wife was single for a while, and I ran into her at rumors. I was single as well, and we decided this was cool, so we started dating. She had a beautiful studio apartment, a nice cat, a good job, and I was like, how can I ruin this? How can I make her mine? How can I make her think this is the only thing that's going well? I just waited.
And as life works out, bad things happen. Anyone else have bad things happen? Just all the time? I don't. I'm very lucky. I'm a very lucky man. It's very, she really hates it. But she got in a car accident, her job let her go, and she was forced to move into my parents' basement with me. Shout out to my parents, you know. My dad, he served his country. His dad served his country, and his father served his country, and all three of his kids have been serving their country since they were 18 years old. Yeah, my sister serves at Olive Garden, my brother's at Outback, I'm at Leo's. We are all serving our country every day. Takes patience. I tied it in there, guys. But so we moved to my parents' basement, and it was probably the hardest time. I looked at her as like, if we can live in my parents' basement. My parents are, at this time, were chain smokers, rope-wearing Coke drinkers. If you picked up a Coke can and took a sip, it might be an ashtray by mistake. I don't know if there's any young people. I saw a few over here. I don't know if you've been in cars when people are smoking cigarettes with the windows up. Hopefully that's not happening anymore, but in the 90s it was happening. It was, we raced to get the middle seat. The middle seat's the worst seat, unless your parents smoke. Because they're gonna ash out the window. And I don't know if you know what happens with wind. And your window's down in the back seat. It comes back in, and it burns your thighs. So we were always fighting for that middle seat. It was golden. Who cares if you were crowded and too warm and sweat? You didn't get burned. So she moved into that house, and it was great for a while. We were just drinking a bunch. I mean, living with them, they were great. I love them so much. But we were drinking a bunch, and one night I drank a little too much. And I decided, I was blackout drunk. Let me just tell you that. And I hear the story the next day. Shrek the Musical was on around 2 a.m. I don't know if you've seen Shrek the Musical, live versions on Netflix. It's wonderful. There's a big tap dance number. The curtain drops to people's ankles, and their shoes, the tap shoes, are rats. So it looks like those fucking rats dancing. And I'm sitting there in a beanbag chair that smells like cat piss, crying my eyes out, just bawling up a storm. My wife comes out, because she wasn't drinking, she was asleep, and she's just like, "What are you doing?" And she told me, I said this to her, "I would give you up to do this." It's a long number, guys. It's a long goddamn number. I do have tap shoes. Thank you. So I've been living with parents. Ruining my life. Basement, and now I'm going to skip over to some other things I want to talk about, just to see how it works, if that's all right with y'all. Beautiful. Yeah, you know I serve this country every day. Easter Sunday, 6 days a week. Unfortunate. So my mom passed this last September. Yeah, that brings the mood down. But the same things happen when a parent passes. You know, there's toxic family energy sometimes. You work through stuff. My dad sent a letter to my half-brother saying, "Don't come to this house ever again." My brother asked for resources and applied money, and my sister told me and my wife off. But the most uncomfortable part of the whole thing is the sexcapade stories my dad tells. And he's just like, "I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I had your mom in this hotel, and I had a second hotel over here, and there was another lady there." And I was like, "God damn, Jim, I don't need to tell you. Do I tell you my stories now?" And I tried. Let me let you know if there's any young kids in the audience, and someone passes, and then someone starts sharing sexcapades, that is not an opportunity for you to return that conversation of sexcapades. Your dad doesn't want to know what you did in your 20s. He wants to share what he did in his 20s. So that's been a fun thing to try to figure out and navigate. And I also learned how you used to have to buy cocaine. And I think there's some people in the audience who will let me know that's accurate. My dad was in a place in Duluth, Minnesota at a random bar. It's one of his stories I've heard 18 times since my mom passed. And he's like, yeah, I just sat at the bar, I took this train wreck home, blah, blah, blah. But if you ever needed cocaine, you would just ask for a matchbox. And they would hand over a matchbox. You put $100 in. You close the matchbox. You go to the bar and say, I'm out of matches. And the bartender would slide it open, walk away, and bring you back cocaine. That's how easy it was back in the day. Any older people in the crowd used to buy cocaine with Matt? I saw a hand. I'm not going to say where. I'm just so happy I saw like a finger in the air. I said the story to my wife's parents, and her mom leaned in when no one was around and said, when we pass, keep all the matchboxes and go through them. So we're gonna do some Coke soon, some old Coke. None of that fentanyl shit, no OD, like classic Coke, like classic 80s roller skate, short skirt, no, like all like tank top style cocaine. You didn't seem enthused about my impressions, but I want to try to do them again. Impressions. Yeah, you know what an impression is. Yeah? Ugh, I'm not gonna do a child. I would never make fun of a child. Scarlett's a child I hung out with earlier today, and she doesn't know any fucking words. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just grab people's cheeks? Just go and put my socks on my hands and walk around? And just pull dog tails and try not to get bit? That's a terrible impression. This is a Rocky Balboa. He's having a nightmare, okay? Have you seen Rocky? Okay, yeah. Sylvester Stallone, if you don't know. Okay, Creed's, okay. He's having a nightmare. Rocky Balboa, having a nightmare. Oh, no! Oh, no! No! Oh, no! Rocky Balboa having a nightmare. All these voices sound similar. This is Vin Diesel, but his character from Fast and the Furious, teaching math. So we have these numbers: quadratic formula x equals negative b plus or minus the square root all over b squared minus 4ac equals 2a. And you know, when there's like some parentheses around the letters and the numbers, it doesn't matter that the letters and numbers, when they're in the parentheses, a fucking family. And I'll end with this. This is Marky Mark. I haven't done him in a minute. I haven't done any of those in a minute. But Mark Wahlberg. You know Wahlberg's, the burger place. You know, when you get a lot of money, you either buy tequila properties or you open a burger fucking place, and none of it's good. None of it's good. I haven't been there yet. There's supposed to be like a Gordon Ramsay hot dog place somewhere. Like, why the fuck? Anyway, Mark Wahlberg with no TV. Hey! I need some TV in here! Where's the TV? Hey! Can I get some TV in here? And that's my bad Mark Wahlberg. Thank you, everyone. This has been fun. Give it up for Brian and everyone else for performing tonight.
I had an observation the other day. White people been building robots far too quick and in far too many numbers for me. It made me realize y'all miss slaves so much. Yeah, and I can tell by the way y'all talk to Siri. I don't talk to Siri. I don't talk to her mean. White people, shut up, bitch. I don't do that. Because if I do that, she'll be like, do you want to go back to picking cotton? No, bitch, I'm sorry. Wait. Don't do this to me. Don't do that. I paid $1,200 for you, bitch. Like I said, I don't intend on offending nobody tonight. Like, I talk shit about white people, love white people. Like, it was my dream as a child to get adopted by a white family. That's all I wanted. I watched the Blind Side movie, fucked me up. I started doing push-ups, wearing tank tops in white neighborhoods and shit, just looking hungry and disheveled. Ma'am, hold up, that BMW slowing down. Ma'am, please. You look like Sandra Bullock, saved my life. That's the sign of a rich white family, like a successful white family. If they got that black kid in Meijer with them, I'm like, my nigga, you made it. Ain't no more scorpions in your future, nigga. You got it. I instantly try to come his friend. I'm like, I'm coming over, nigga. I'm sleeping over. You know what? No weird shit. Your mama making pizza bagels, nigga. I do like when I see like that single white mom with the mixed kid. It give me the eye of the tiger. Where your baby daddy at? What you got going on this evening? Oh, that nigga ain't nowhere around. I recently heard R. Kelly finna get out of jail, and then I heard he wasn't gonna get out of jail. But I wanted to be his agent. Like, I think I could get him clean, get him sober off them kids, you know what I mean? And then we gonna put him in movies. That's it. We gonna cast him as a villain. That's it. You gonna see him in the next Spider-Man as the Green Goblin. When he take off his mask, it's just him singing on a hoverboard, just stealing kids. And it's like, Spider-Man like, this is a sick fuck. I feel like it's weird, and don't think this is coming from a malice place in my heart. I'm 5'9", but I'm still finna say this. I think it's weird that women say they're attracted to tall men, and then they try to tell you, like, it's under the guise that they want their kids to be tall, like, you know, their son can play basketball and shit. It sounds weird to me. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like you wanna fuck your son. That's what it sounds like. And, like, hear me out. I love big titties. I love big titties. I pray to Jesus my daughter ain't got no titties. Like, no titties at all. I hope it's a disease. I hope it's like the doctor, like, we had to cut them off. I'm like, good, doc. Good. Come here, honey. Give me a hug. No one's ever gonna come in your face. No. You can just stay in the basement. Y'all might feel bad about that. I feel like I'm a great dad. It's Ramadan. I wanted to mention that in here, just because there's a lot of white people. Y'all supposed to be celebrating Lent and shit. I don't feel like white people go as hard as Muslims on this sacrifice. Like, I gave up eating, drinking, smoking, until the sun go down. That fucking sucks. I never see, like, white people doing that, and then when I explain to them what fasting is, and they're like, you do all of that? For what? I almost punched a white man in the face one time because of that shit. I was like, he was like, that's a choice, right? I was like, it's a choice for me not to whoop your ass right now. This is a hell of a choice. It's me, you, and this floor I'm finna stomp you out on. I just sold my car too. It's really sad because I love that car and I gotta get a new car. Yeah, it's a traumatizing experience. Like, I had to get the weed smoke out of there so homie would give me all the money that I asked for.